I decided to start my stream later than usual because we all know Zero is goofy and he takes like an entire hour to arrive. He's been slinging trash these past few weeks, so I just hope this is a little different. Like maybe some noxious better God Roll or something. Three minutes. Never mind, 2 minutes. Bring back. Back. Hold on. Chuck, is that you? Alright, you should be here in like a few seconds. Alright, there's the reset. 3, 2, 1. Kaboom. There he is. Alright, see what he's got. We'll start off with the exotics and then we'll do the rest. Alright. So, for Hunter, he has the Wormhusk Crown with a 62 total. This is actually extremely good, guys. This is by far one of my favorite exotics. I'd highly recommend getting this. Although it's a little niche, it can still be very good in lots of scenarios. But what I do want to say about this is that if you happen to get the Spirit of Wormhusk on the exotic class item, do not use it because it barely gives, like, anything. Like, the actual Wormhusk Crown itself gives, like, a very good amount of, like, health and shield and stuff like that, but the actual Spirit of Wormhusk is horrible. You can't get Spirit of Wormhusk on this because, well, this is the actual exotic. Specifically on, like, the exotic class item right here, specifically for both Hunter, Warlock, and Titan and stuff like that, whatever. I don't know why I said that, but yeah. It gives, like, oh, it's just horrible. But besides that, yeah, Wormhusk Crown, definitely recommend. Then we have Mask of Fealty with a Brawler roll. This is actually extremely good. Now, guys, a lot of people don't really have this exotic because, well, it's Stasis, and no one really uses Stasis. By far, this is one of my favorite exotics for Hunter, specifically for like movement and stuff like that, because it can create stasis crystals off of your melee, and we all know how spammy Hunter melees are, specifically stasis ones. This is a 60 roll, so it isn't as good as the Wormhusk Crown over here, but it's still nice. It's by far one of like the greatest helmets to have on Hunter for like movement, just because of the fact that you can stand on the crystals that you make, regardless of like if you're on prismatic or stasis, because you can just put the same stasis melee on prismatic. It's pretty cool. But yeah, 30 melee, pretty insane. 60 total, pretty nice. If none of these show up as Brawler or Bulwark or whatever role you want, guys, remember, you can change the role by going to your Ghost mod right here, and you can actually change the armor. So I'm going to change the Grenadier. I was on Gunner, and it should change to something random, like, yep, this is the Grenadier. This is still Bulwark. Sometimes it won't work, sometimes it will, but just try it out. And you can actually like change the role, because remember, it was Brawler, I believe. Now it's Grenadier. So you can actually change the role, guys. You can change the role of the armor that Zer has, although you can't change weapon roles, unfortunately. I wish you could do that. Then for Titan, we have Doomfang Pauldron. This is a 60 roll. I'm not really a Titan or Warlock main, I'm primarily Hunter, so I don't know much about this. But yeah, 60 roll Gunner, whatever it looks like you'd go for weapon here, and it is Gunner, so yeah, pretty nice. Blast Wave Strides with a Gunner. I believe this uses your class item? No. I'm not sure what this uses, but I mean, it's a Gunner roll, so I mean, you can change it. But you know. Alright. For Warlock, we have Karnstein Armlets with a Bulwark roll. This is, you really want melee for this because this uses your melee to heal you. This is pretty nice, a 60 roll. Again, not terrible, but it's still kind of bad. But you know. Then we have Dawn Chorus with a 60 roll Grenadier. This really uses your super, and I'm glad you can just get a little bit of super. 20 is nice, but obviously you can change it to like 30 if you... No, like, yeah, 30. At least 29. By changing the role, but whatever, and then obviously, exotic class item. You'll always sell these. Now we're going to check out his more strange offers. For more strange offers, he's not selling a deep silent master, unfortunately. Although, if you are looking for some materials that you may want to use for weapon crafting and such, he is selling 7 raid banners for 11 strange coins, 41,000 glimmer for 11 strange coins, 19,997 glimmer for 5 strange coins, 5 cores for 5 coins, 3 cores for 5 coins again. Now keep in mind, you can't buy these twice. So if you think that, oh, this one is bad and you get more for like this one, if you buy the 5 for 5, you will not be able to get it again. So if you want more cores from this guy, you will need to get this one. Then he's also selling 3 enhancement prisms for 23 strange coins. I don't think that's much, technically, because I mean, it is kind of a waste, 23 coins for 3 prisms, when you could low-key just get it by doing portal activities. But, you know, I get it, portal activities suck. But still, that's kind of, like, the best way to get it. So I would not recommend getting prisms at this guy, especially when you can get things, better things, like the armor. So yeah. Next, we're going to check out the Strange Gear offers. Please, sir, please, sir, please, sir. 3, 2, 1. Kaboom, kaboom, Alright, guys. He is selling the Sunshot Catalyst for 71 strange coins, the Prospector Catalyst for 71 strange coins. He's selling the Wardcliff Coil, Prometheus Lens, Arbalest, and what looks to be about a C tier Hawkmoon roll. I'm not good at Hawkmoon. Alright, for his weapons, he is selling Whistler's Whim with Killing Wind and Adrenaline Junkie. This is a unobtainable trials weapon. Horrible roll, though. I would not recommend getting this. He is selling Rapacious Appetite with Headstone and Invisible Hand. I'd say this is weird, I guess. For, like, legitimately anything, I would not recommend getting this. It's an interesting roll, but it doesn't really do much. He's selling the Showrunner with Swashbuckler and Overflow. Pretty random, pretty bad. He's selling Tarnished Metal with Dragonfly 4th time to charm. I'd say this is definitely an interesting role as well. 4th time to charm Dragonfly. If you really want to take both effect, if you really want to like take an effect, both of these perks, you'll have to be pretty quick with your shots. But considering this is a 200 RPM scout, I wouldn't be too sure. Next, he is selling Luna's Howl with Opening Shot Encore. Now, guys, this is by far one of, I'd say, the best hand cannons for PvP, especially with Opening Shot and Encore, because like it enhances this weapon's stats. Personally, the gun itself is, it actually kind of feels weird because it's a 140, but you know there's other 140s that feel good. I never really have an opinion about this gun, but Opening Shot Encore, pretty nice, PvP. He is selling Lotus Eater, okay, an old Nightfall weapon, with Reverberation Reconstruction. This is not the best you could have on it, the best is Repulsor Destabilizing, but I mean, hey, if you want a Energy Void Micro Missile Frame Sidearm, I would highly recommend this. This is, like, it's, for most weapons, it's all about the perks that you want, but for things like Macro Missile Frames, just having one is extremely good because they're great for like a lot of raid and dungeon mechanics. Next, he is selling the Thin Precipice sword with a Golden Tricorn Valiant Charge. Valiant Charge is interesting because it lets you skate, which is honestly pretty cool, but I mean, especially because this is a Vortex Frame, it's going to go even further, but you know, I don't really know how to feel about it. Next, he's selling Eleatic Principle. Is that how I say that? Whatever. With Tap the Trigger and Eddy Current. This is an interesting role. Again, Eddy Current, Arc, Rapid Fire Frame, Machine Gun. I'm not sure how you do that, especially 900 RPM. That's pretty interesting as well. I'm never really a machine gun guy, so I mean, I wouldn't say this is good, but I mean, you do you. Next, he is selling. Oh my god. Okay, guys, listen to me. Listen. You guys know me as the guy who has, well, I hope you guys know me as the guy who has a Eager Edge Falling Guillotine. This is one of my most prized possessions in all of Destiny 2, and I would be so sad if they just brought back Falling Guillotine with Eager Edge. I'm extremely grateful that they at least gave it horrible perks. But still, I'm really mad that Xur is selling Falling Guillotine right now, because, I mean, yeah, whenever Bungie adds guns, they're supposed to bring it back for, like, new players and stuff like that. That way, there's not really that much of a content drought, even though there legitimately is one right now. I'm extremely grateful Xur isn't selling it with Eager Edge, because, I mean, sure, it's cool to have an Eager Edge sword that you can actually reliably get, instead of just having him sell the slammer all day, because we all know Vortex Frames are where it's at when it comes to skating. I hate that he's selling Falling Guillotine right now with Bait and Switch Friends. Now, guys, listen. This is an actual, like, god roll right here. One that I don't have. Because, listen to me. A lot of people like to use Falling Guillotine for, like, skating because it's like legitimately the only other Vortex Frame in the entire game besides the Slammer to get Eager Edge, making it like by far one of the best swords in the entire game. Sorry guys, I haven't touched this game in a while, so I'll talk a lot. I'd say the Slammer is practically, if you want to be practical, a lot of people would just go with Slammer Adept because of its stasis synergy. You could get Cold Steel, Attrition Orbs, switch off for Eager Edge, and it's just genuinely more flexible because it's Adept. You can have like the Adept Mag, more ammo capacity, more impact, and stuff like that. If you want to be practical, a lot of people would go with Slammer Adept, but I don't go with it just because I really like Falling Guillotine, the fact that it's a Void Sword. And I just generally like the fact that it's a Brave Gun. I've always liked the design of them. Plus, I feel like it's more shadeable. So by far, I would definitely use Falling Guillotine for skating. Now, Xur is selling a God Roll, and it does not have Eager Edge. which gives me a lot of relief. But still, I'm mad that he's selling it. Now, one thing I'm really happy about is that, well, this is a super god roll. Well, no, it's not a super. It's a god roll. You can't really skate with it because it doesn't have Vigor Edge. That's the one perk you want for skating. But like, here's the thing: a lot of people like doing sword DPS just because of like swords. It's funny, and swords in a lot of scenarios and certain raids and stuff like that are like extremely good, especially for things like Crota. This is a god roll because of multiple things. So let's break down how this is a god roll and why you guys should be getting this. So, number one, it's kind of unobtainable. It's void, meaning it can slip into a lot of good builds. And it has like by far the best perks that you could ever have for specifically this sword. For like damage. So we have Frenzy, which states that being in combat for an extended time increases damage, handling, and reload until you are out of combat. Because this is a sword, you don't really have to worry about handling or reload. But so what we're really gonna focus on is the increasing damage, because that is exactly what we want, because this is damage. And then we have Bait and Switch, which gives like a 30% damage buff when you use all your other weapons before using this one, which is extremely good for like legitimately any damage rotation. It's why Bait and Switch has become so popular ever since, like, I don't even know, the reprisal of the Last Wish raid or whatever back in Season of the Wish. I'm not very cultured or whatever. So anyways, W setup with Frenzy and Bait and Switch. Now let's go on to like the additional stuff, such as, I don't know, the Masterwork with an Impact Masterwork. We all know Impact increases your damage, so definitely maybe enhance this. Not just for the fact that you can instantly get like 4 more impact, but you can also increase the damage of Frenzy, I believe, and also you let Bait and Switch go on for longer. Next, let's talk about the Guard and the Edge. So, for this, you primarily want damage, meaning you'll unfortunately have to sacrifice a bit of ammo. Let's see the edges. We have Hungry, Honed, and Tempered. Now, if you want Tempered, for Tempered, this is more so like casual game, where you're using this and like not really high-end or low-end content. You're just more so just using the sword. And basically, you sacrifice a little bit of ammo, but you still get a good amount of impact. Then for Honed Edge, you're getting more damage, and then Hungry Edge increases ammo. So basically, I would recommend, by far like the best one here, it's genuinely about Tempered Edge here, because we have Honed and Hungry Edge. So one increases damage, one increases ammo, then one does both. Bro, come on guys, you want both, because you need ammo to even use the sword, and then you want damage because that's what you're using the sword for. So obviously you're not gonna sacrifice damage for ammo or ammo for damage. You want both. That way you can actually make the most out of your hits while also hitting more and making your hits actually count. As for mods, I would definitely go with something like a backup mag, because it lets you have more ammo. That way you can actually have more hits, therefore more damage, so yeah. All in all, the origin trait, you're not really killing anything with this, you're not really doing night clear, so I mean, I don't know why you would worry about indomitability, but it's whatever. Besides that, pretty good. About a 35% damage boost, with both perks active. Or maybe 40% damage, maybe 50, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't done much research on Frenzy. All I know is that 30% increase because of Bait and Switch, but yeah, pretty good sword right here. By far the best. Now, one thing they could do to make this absolutely the best it could possibly be is add multi-perk and then have Vigor Edge here. Now, I wish if they ever add Vigor Edge to this, like next week or something like that, I'm going to kill Bungie. I'm going to sue them, bro. And then they should also add what's it called, Jagged Edge for a more, like a lot less ammo, but more impact, so it's better for burst damage. And we all know burst damage is good in, like, every single context. But you know, besides second encounter, Thunder Doctrine. That's basically it for the sword, that's basically it for Xur. Kind of in a good and bad way. All in all, the things you guys should be getting are this Falling Guillotine for damage, because chances are he's never selling this ever again. At least I hope he isn't. The Lotus Eater, if you don't already have it. Maybe this Luna's Howl if you're a PvP person. Any Catalyst you might want. Any of this armor you'd have interest in. And if you're broke like me, you would go and get some of this stuff if you desperately need it, which I'm not really going to be playing this game too much because of Rec Room, but yeah. Speaking of Rec Room, I know you guys know that Rec Room is shutting down, so yeah. I honestly might just go to Radium and make Radium videos, so my channel might just be repurposed, I'm just saying. Because, I mean, sure, I'm a gaming channel, so I play lots of games. I'm not specifically one game and just kill all the rest. But yeah, I'm just saying, Radium might be my next go-to thing. Because of, you know, Rec Room shutting down. Rec Room's always been one of my favorite games, just because it's like more it's creative. It's just like Roblox basically, because except all the bad stuff David Baszucki's doing to it. And sure, there's more skitters, more hackers that want to steal your information, but that's okay because you know Rec Room. I know I need a PC or a VR to play Radium, and that's why I asked my dad for a VR. I'm not sure if I'm getting it. I hope I am. But yeah. If you guys really want to help me out, it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe to my channel. This helps me out a ton, and it shows that people actually care about my channel, and shows that all my subscribers aren't just ghost people, like bots and stuff like that, or just random people you don't even care about gaming. Because I want at least a good portion of my subscribers to actually care about what I do, instead of just being subscribed to me and then just doing nothing with it. Because I want the number of subscribers I have to actually be my fans. So if you don't care about my channel, then I would like if you could unsubscribe. It's not that I don't care about you guys, it's just that, like, you know, I want at least some of the people that I have subscribed to me to actually care. Because, look at other people. They have fans, they have people and like that. I need my subscribers to actually count, you know, because if it's just someone who their friend said, "Oh, subscribe to him," and then they just don't watch my videos, that's kind of gonna be a problem. But you know, like, I'm not being mean. I just, like, you know, I want actual fans. But yeah, 135 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all that. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for watching all my videos. Thank you for watching my live streams. And that's pretty much where the stream ends. There's not much that I can really do right now besides showing the daily reset and stuff like that, which I'm going to be doing right now. For Crucible, Trials is back, and ooh, okay, so you can actually get Cataphract. This is both good for PvE and PvP, although I feel like bait and switch jails have kind of fallen off for damage in PvE. But yeah, definitely go for Cataphract for PvP, because this is, like, really good. For Pinnacle Ops, we have Horror's Leash from Vox Obscura, a good shot from the Whisper, pretty good gun. Swordmaster's Cloak from Nightmare of Galran. For Arena Ops, we have Evening SI4 from the Arena Ops Quick Play, and okay, Sciaturna from Nightmare Containment. I hate Nightmare Containment, but I love Sciaturna. If you guys don't know what Sciaturna is, it is the first ever energy micro missile frame pulse rifle. Technically, the second ever micro missile frame pulse, because Mint Retrograde was first. It is very good for both damage, practicality, ad clear, and stuff like that. But it unfortunately doesn't let you use all your favorite energy ad clears. So if you want to use a micro missile frame pulse, but also a a good energy ad clear, you'll have to get the actual minute retrograde, because you can't change the slot. As for fire team ops, we have 86 from fire team ops quick play, oxygen SR3 again from birthplace of the vial, fair potent strides from battleground foothold, fair potent mask from the glassway, and fair potent grips from inside terminus. I think Bungie just really wants everyone to get armor, honestly. For solo ops, we have Nox Sidereal 4 from quick play, and fair potent curls from Typhon Imperator. That's the entire daily reset. That's the entire Zur. And then as for Zavala, again, he's selling the Stasis Fusion from last season. I'm not going to go too deep into it. I'm just going to say it's good for Stasis synergy and also damage. Because it can get reconstruction and, what's it called, elemental honing. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it's High Curse Week for Dreaming City. I haven't checked yet. As for Neptune, the Vex Incursion Zone is in Zephyr's Concourse. Did I say Zephyr's Concourse? I could just... oh, whatever. My bad. The mission is now beyond for the moon. And as for Europa, the Eventide Ruins, my bad, is the Eclipse Zone. For the Pale Heart, the match-made overthrow is in the Blooming. And for the Exotic Mission Rotator, the mission is now Vox Obscura. That should be everything. Now we're gonna check if it's High Curse Week on Dreaming City. It should be. I'm pretty sure. As for the expert lost sectors, the one in here, 17th Storm World, is Metamorphosis. For Europa, it is Concealed Void. For Neptune, it is the Thrillodrome. For Dreaming City, it is Aphelian's Rest. For Nessus, it is the Conflux. For the Moon, it is K1 Crew Quarters. I'm gonna wait for this so I can load them. For the EDZ, it is Excavation Site 12, I believe. For the Cosmodrome, it's Exodus Garden 2A. That's one of my favorite lost sectors. And that's it. And to answer you guys' question, if it is High Curse Week, it is not High Curse Week, surprisingly. Whatever you name. Okay, that's it for the stream. If you guys enjoyed, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Hold up.